Hey guys, Romie here, so please like, comment, subscribe. This is the 2017 BET Awards Psych, my review for it. Now, it started off with Bruno Mars. I didn't know that Bruno Mars never won an award until tonight. That's crazy. I'm still trying to figure out what people, and when I say what people, I mean, it seems like the black community doesn't really embrace Bruno Mars. I know he's not black, but I'm just trying to figure out why they go at him like that. Like, he's great. I get it. He essentially takes stuff, remixes it, and puts it out. But he's not like he's calling it his own. He does give credit where credit is due. And even if, on the off chance that initially he doesn't, he always makes sure he does eventually. So I get people want to be original, but most of the people that you think are original aren't. But anyway, he performed Perm. If you don't have his album, 24 Karat Magic, you may not know the song because it's not a single. But Bruno Mars, and I've heard multiple times, I respect the fact that he's someone that can perform a song that people don't know, and they're just as excited and they're into it because his performance is good. I don't care if you feel like you've seen that type of energy, that type of vibe, or heard those type of songs before. It doesn't matter. It's all about, well, was it good? Yes, then what's really the problem? What's really the problem? And while that's going on, like I said, he opens up the show, and I thought, okay, he has a couple other things that he could use, but you need something hype, fast, that'll keep going. And that's definitely Perm. That was a perfect song to actually open up because it's something that no one's expecting. People aren't just going to be like, no, they're actually going to be like, yeah, 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 once they really get into it. Now, Leslie Jones herself, I feel like she did a good job. She was like this most of the time, but I said, oh, whoa. For the first half, that's how she was. I said, oh, I get it. I know that's your shtick. I know that's your shtick. So I'll let you continue doing what you do, because shout out to you. I said, we just need to lower. I get it. I can lower my volume. But I just feel like, ooh, ooh. But then I got used to it. I know the audience, it was definitely a mixed reaction of, ha ha ha, and okay, you cuckoo and crazy over there. I'm going to watch you go and do what you do, respect what you do, but don't come any closer. That's the type of vibe that I got from the audience. The first award actually had Logan Brown and Ship, the guy who plays Tupac. And so the award went to the Migos, which I'm glad it went to the Migos because they do deserve it, regardless of how people kind of feel about them in the public eye, because I guess some of the things that they were saying or allegedly said and did to certain groups and all of that. But look, I still like the Migos. I shouldn't say I don't care. I'm watching very carefully. If things go too far, I can cut someone off like that. But I'm not even close to being there with the Migos. They're A-okay in my book. Now, I know, do not shoot me, but I didn't realize that this French Montana song, because I don't know Ray Sherman by their individual names, not really anyway. So I didn't realize, as I said, that voice, the guy who's singing most of that song for French Montana, he sounds familiar, and I couldn't figure out why. It's a light-skinned dude from Wayshower. I said, oh God. Oh God. I'm a little embarrassed because I like the song. I said, wait a minute. I know this voice. I just couldn't figure out why I know the voice. And now I know. The performance was cool. It made sense. It was a conceptual performance. The whole concept had to do with, what was it, Uganda? I believe, if I wasn't mistaken. So I loved it. Had the African kids dancing, doing this thing. Because French is African. Like, I think like Jadena African, not just, oh, okay, he's here, he's African American. No, French is like African. So I respect what he did on that stage. I really appreciated it a lot. Now, something that I must say before we get to Solange, because Solange won. Screw it, I'm already talking about her. I know I wasn't the only one, like, so Beyonce. Yes, Beyonce, you're here to support your sister. I'm thinking, wait, someone may or may not give birth, and I'm worrying about her being there to, priorities. But Solange did it. She won, and she was like, that was her first BET. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is going on? How is it that now the BET Awards, how is that Solange's first award? That makes no sense. Like, it's Bruno's first award. they slipped. This is one of the things that they fell short on, and I'm over it. Well, not in this case, but I'm saying in the past, because Solange definitely deserved a BET award or two prior to this, but the technical issues were really bad. It was like some of the worst we've had in years in this show. It's always something, but it's usually not on this level. And I said immediately when it came on, I said they did a format change. I think this is the first one, or maybe it's the last one that Stephen Hill had involvement with, and it was definitely different. It kind of did this for most of the show, which isn't bad because a lot of shows are like or like or it definitely was like like, you know what I mean? I didn't fall flat. It was good, but I said, yo, we're really trying to stretch 3 hours of this. It was actually more than 3 hours because it started at 8 and ended at 12. Yes, 4 hours. Now, obviously, there's commercials, but still, it ran over. It ran over. It ran over. Lecrae won. So, shout out to him. Leslie Jones did more of her talking. I said, okay, cool. Now, here's the thing. I know the song with Post Malone. I know it. I just don't. It's not bad. I don't listen to it, so I didn't think much of it. So I actually fast forwarded through it. I said, oh, okay, cool. I said, oh, okay, Migos T-shirt. Oh, okay. But then my tongue really just come out like a little. And then I don't care what anybody says. Raindrop, drop top. I said, look at these wearing these oversized winter coats, just determined to show you that they chill. That they got no chill. So they did their thing. Shout out to them. I'm not sure how I feel about the auto-tuning of auto-tuning for rappers live. I feel like it's kind of weird. It just doesn't, like, T-Pain sang. That's why it was fine. But now it's like it's carrying most of the songs. Now there's this girl named Jessie Reyes. She did great. I said, look at her. And they played most of her songs. So shout out to them. Shout out to them. Finally, they stopped doing this 30 seconds and they're gone, because most of the Music Matters people put on better performances than the people on stage. That's just a fact. It doesn't mean the people on stage were bad. It just means the Music Matters people were better. There's a huge difference. Huge difference. Because they have a small platform, they have to get it right. Now we have to do a shout out. Shout out to these football players. I'm not going to pretend like I know them. It's Michael and what was it? Michael and Martellus Bennett. Now, a shout out to them because they do a lot for the community. They do a lot in the community, and you just have to respect that. You have to respect that. So you definitely have to give them their props. Trey Songz performed, and I said no. I looked at this and said, wait a minute. This is 2017. That looks like 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12. Trey. And this isn't hating at all. I want you to know that the song wasn't bad. The songs weren't bad. They weren't. They were good. There's no issues there. It's just if people feel like Bruno Mars is putting out the same thing or following the same shtick, then Trey Songz is 120% doing so, which normally I'd be fine with, because if you have a formula, don't lose it. But it's not a mature formula. The thing is, he wants that his age group and lower, but also wants to be kind of oohed and awed by older women. And I get what he's doing. I see it. I just feel like for him, he can change. He definitely has talent, so he can go in a completely different direction and be successful. Because there's a difference. Some people go in a completely different direction and that's it. Their career is over. But I feel like he can take a change. But I really think this is what he likes. So I guess it's better to be yourself than try to conform to what others want you to do, which I definitely felt he was doing before with those extremely radio-friendly and pop 40 stuff and image and all that. Now, Chris Brown performed, and for a good half of the performance, now if you notice how they did it, they shot Chris Brown from angles. They shot him from angles, and they never really did close-ups, because why? He was dancing. Exactly what we wanted. He had the backing track going. He was singing on top of it. I said, okay, this is all we want. This is actually all we want. Just sing, dance, sing, dance. That's it. And he did it. He did it. I was pumped. I was like, party, party. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I listened to the song 10 times afterwards, after the show is over, because Chris Brown, unfortunately, he's the type of person where I'm looking at, okay, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. But I haven't heard anything recently, well, you know, relatively recently, negative, and the music is what it is. I don't necessarily want that 40 thing, 40 song album, but I guess I'm not a true Chris Brown fan then. But I can say that he did the dang thing. He definitely did a good job. He really did. And when I say good, good doesn't mean, no, I mean it when I say good. Now, it's time for Diddy to go up there. Yeah, it was Diddy to go up there, and he gave Chance the award for new best artist, which it's kind of funny because I was thinking, dang, I thought he would have won that by now. But he didn't really get commercial success until last year was a huge, monumental year for Chance. So that makes sense that he would get it this year. That's kind of the issue with a lot of these award shows. It's based on almost a full year prior accolades. So that's why people kind of look like, oh, well, I don't know. Did he got back on there because he wanted to go and promote his biopic for Apple Music. I said, okay, that's cool. So when's it going to be available on Tidal? Because I guess I'm not going to see them till then. Or HBO. Because I guess I'm not going to see them till then. I'm already giving Google and Tidal all my money. Like, I just can't. There's a cute little improv thing between DJ Khaled and Khalid, and that was great. Mary J. Blige, body looked sick. She looked good. Oh yeah, shout out to Chris Brown for looking healthier, because those pictures before were crazy. So shout out to him all around. Now, Mary J. Blige, she looked good. I appreciate the fact that Mary sounds just like her record. She sounds just like her record. And I loved it when they got it. Well, the guys got out the car like, okay, we ready to go. This is Brooklyn 1999. Let's go. Let's go. I said, oh, I'm hyped. Mary, do it. Do it. And she was doing it. She was doing it. Obviously, was it Mary's best performance? No, it didn't need to be, because it was a statement. That was the whole point of it. It wasn't a bad performance, but I'm just saying, look, I remember some Mary performance, so I was like, oh, I still felt that way, but it was for personal reasons. I don't know what was going on with Bruno Mars at that time. Bruno Mars was out of it. A$AP Rocky came out of nowhere, started to perform, because he was on the remix. A lot of people don't know that. I don't know what was going on with Jamie Foxx. I can't pretend like to know what was going on with Jamie Foxx. I said, ooh, you had something. You had something. I don't know if it was green juice. I don't know if it was something else that was green. I don't know if it was in pill form. I don't know if it was a drink. But he was hyped. He was all over the place. It was like, I said, ooh, let's breathe a little bit. Let's breathe a little bit. Bruno Mars, he was also, I said, ooh, Bruno, you nice right now. See, Solange was nice as well. Bruno, when he got his award, it was nice. And he was saying, shout out to Stephen Hill, because Stephen Hill personally came to him while he was on tour and said, I need you to come and open up the BET Awards. And he's like, I know you're going to land on your feet. Obviously, that was to say, look, I know they ousted you. I respect you. I respect what you did. I didn't think that I would ever get this type of shine on this platform. Look, it's really messed up, because it's just, why do they ask even? How are we nominating some of these other people that can't even do a tenth that Bruno does, and he has commercial success, but it's kind of like a Jason Derulo, in the sense where Jason's black, he has commercial success. A lot of people know him. A lot of black people know him. They just don't vibe with his music for some reason, or fully vibe with him. It's just weird. It makes no sense. I'll never understand that. Now, originally I thought it was just a crowd, and then I realized, uh-oh. When Big Sean was up on stage performing and he had the holograms in the background, I said, okay, cool. Big Sean is a little too chill right now. I don't know if it was because of the music that he was performing or what, but Big Sean's definitely been more hype before, and I feel like that was the issue with his performance. It was just kind of like, hey, hey. Because even the crowd wasn't going off for him. And I'm thinking, that's Big Sean. I get it, he didn't have the biggest year, but he still put out an album last year. He has stuff on radio. Maybe he's just a little too chilled back. Because even though Kendrick is also a lyricist, Kendrick is very anime, so people are like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Big Sean's just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's a huge difference. It is. It is. So Kylie performed, which I was trying to figure out why wasn't he on the main stage. I get it for production values, and in all honesty, I probably would have been on them because normally it's weird. It must be all the extra stuff going on the main stage and extra monitors to operate everything because the people who are on the Music Matters set and area, their sound check's always fine. They never sound bad. And when I say they never sound bad, I mean the audio doesn't go in there out or anything. So maybe I would rather be on there like, all right, give me this small stage because you guys clearly don't know how to do a big production value. Why was Cardi B, Karuchi, and dang it, I know his name. I know the man's name. Oh, the guy who's like, he's like almost either 40 or 50, but he looks pretty young, comedian, light. But anywho, they were there to announce the winner for best, it was like best young role model, essentially. And Yara won. She won. Shout out to her. And I think originally she was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that I was nominated or something like that. It was either for that award or for another award. But it was cool. Xscape did the thing. Now let's talk about the Xscape performance. The issue with the Xscape performance was that it was good. No one sounded bad. I definitely have to go back and listen to the songs because I know that they were singing it. Not all of them, but most. Well, actually, everyone has to because if you drop the key down, then everything has to be dropped. Because I know Tiny and Candy have higher voices. So if you drop the keys down, then it makes it kind of harder. And I felt like, I see it. I see it. They can definitely go on tour. I like what they did. Practice makes perfect because you can tell they're still not all the way used to singing with each other yet. We have some people that'll be over singing on some other people's parts. Some people who just need to let it happen. And you're fine. Right now that didn't happen. Leslie Jones had multiple skits throughout the show, which I thought, okay, it's cool, but I don't know if it's connecting with enough of the audience. That's what I always felt. Future performed Mask Off, and it was low energy. Like, I'm saying the female background dancers were doing the thing, but I didn't realize how mid to low tempo the song actually is. I said, oh no, we can't do 4 minutes of this. No, I'm sorry, unless people come out with, kids come out with flutes and we put clothes back on put robes over the women so the kids can come out perform on flutes. I don't know. I don't know. And then Kendrick came out because I forgot he was on the remix. Because I don't hear the remix and listen to the remix. Really the original, except for on the radio. So I was like, oh, okay. Then Kendrick brought the energy back up again. That's what I'm saying. Kendrick's that type of person where you're like, when he's on stage. And that's why I feel like Big Sean's missing. He has that, like he's naturally a little bit more laid back performance-wise. And it comes off that way. What was next? What do I want to talk about next? Because we're almost 20 minutes in. Tamar Braxton. Jesus! Vocals. I know Tamar can sing, but I said, wait a minute, this is too, I said, this is almost perfect. What is going on? And then I said, wait a minute. I was looking closely, like, because everything was going fine, until she got on that floor, she started generating who, I said, oh no. But I said, wait a minute, why are the vocals still there? What's going on? Because she's killing this performance, but what is that? I know it's her voice, but is she singing over a track or is that what? Here's my thing. I don't care because she sounded great, and that was one of her best performances ever. Period. And I don't know the song. I'm not going to pretend like I'm going to go and listen to the song 10 times over, but That song, she got a standing ovation, and it was real because they're like, oh my God, vocals and you're giving us energy. That's what we want. So Deborah Lee comes out for the humanitarian award, and Chance the Rapper gets it. Now, First Lady Michelle Obama, that's what I'm calling her because I don't know that other woman who's supposed to be the first lady. I don't know her. So, First Lady. Oh no, that. So Miss Michelle Obama went and did a speech, and of course, it was much needed. We appreciated it. Chance went out there. He did what he did best, and he's essentially like, you know what? I understand. I was gonna go and tell you what you need to do, but he's gonna start with himself and lead by example. That's essentially what the speech was, and I said that's how you really show people. You lead by example, telling them stuff. Trust me, I've tried the whole telling people stuff. It goes. You know what else went? Maxwell's performance. I didn't even. I said I don't know the song. I don't get this. I feel like we could have actually had The Weeknd come from off his European leg of the tour and do, because that was the vibe I got. I said, wait a minute. I just saw this with Starboy. Like, stop it. And Feel It Coming. And all of his other songs. That's all Space Station tribute. No, we're not doing this. Tyrese was talking. I said, okay. Why? Because this is time for the tributes. And one was George Michael. It was funny. I forgot his name. His name wasn't coming to me until I didn't really think much of it. And then, whoop, so George Michael was one of them. Actually, Charlie Murphy was on that tribute wall as well. But guess who came out? El DeBarge was there. He was singing. I said, El DeBarge looks good. What the? Dang. I said, look at El DeBarge. El DeBarge, you need to get your younger brother James, because whatever you're doing, whether you're still doing some stuff or not, you need to get James on that regiment because James is looking crazy out here in these streets. Get him fast. So the cast of, what was it, Girls Trip? Or something like that. You know, the trip with Jada Pinkett Smith and Regina Hall and Queen Latifah, and the comedian. And I'm not saying that disrespectful, I just don't really remember her name, but I know she's a comedian. And she's really funny. I heard her in the Breakfast Club. Oh, actually, while we're doing all that, I'm going to go and find her name, because I can do multiple things at once. Praise God. Now, they were out there because of the new edition. One, they released a Lifetime Achievement Award, and I'm happy for them. I thought that would have happened by now, but they got their award, they did their speech, and it was the full cast of the mini movie series that, you know, aired on BET, and they did it, and then New Edition went and performed themselves, and then everyone came together. It was great. It was great. Now, obviously, some time has passed, so some of the choreography wasn't sticking like it used to. I enjoyed every moment of it, so that didn't matter. But I know some people want the full truth, so that was the full truth. Some voices have matured, so those high notes weren't going all the way up anymore. But again, that's fine because it was nice. It gave you the feel that you wanted, and that feel was, all right, we gotta go and do the dang thing. They did the dang thing. When they were in all white. It's something about black people in all white. That's why I used to wear all white in high school and beginning of college. Because I just liked how it looked. And I was a little bit darker then, so it looked really nice. You need to make sure you got that nice glow, though. That nice darkened skin. Make sure you spend a good couple of hours in the sun. And then go and look at yourself like, black is beautiful. I know, I just went on a tangent. But anyway, they did the dang thing. SZA, I never fully listened to her live. Well, I have a couple of times, but I said, oh my God. I need to go and download this album. I know about the album. I know a lot of people talk about the album, but I didn't go and download the album until I heard her. I was like, okay, downloading the album. I'm feeling the vibe. I'm getting the vibe. Yara was up there again because they needed to go and give out another award, and it was a Coca-Cola award, and it was to Beyonce. So Halle and Haley went up there and read a note that Beyonce blessed us with. Oh my god, that was funny. And when they're like, "Oh yeah," and she loves the beehive. No, and they're like, "And I love my beehive." They're like, oh my god. So we might as well just start get up and clapping and cheering because that's everyone in the beehive, right? Now, the next thing that happened was the best rapper category, and it was Remy Ma. She won. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted Cardi B to win. I wanted her to win, but I get it. It's about what you did last year. And as far as big number, Remy did that. Nicki started to come, but Remy really did that. But when you think about, so shout out to Remy. My only thing is, Remy did that. Of course, she acknowledges that she couldn't have done it without Fat Joe. So how come people knock Nicki with all of her features and say, oh, well, she shouldn't count all those other songs since they were just features instead of main ones when it comes to the main charts and part of her success? And yet, Remy, all of her songs were a collaborative effort. So when you think about it, I almost think Young M.A., I feel like she technically should have won only because she had a huge year with one song. With one song, and it didn't even have a hook. The hook was ooh. I can't believe it. Yeah. So there was that. The transitions were weird. The audio kept cutting out. I said, they need to do better. They were making way too much money, or we think they're making way too much money for this. DJ Khaled was there. He had Assad. I said, oh, little baby. That was a hard-working baby. Those lights are bright. Where are the sunglasses on the baby? Excuse me? Now, I would have been like, I would have given Justin Bieber some props if he would have been able to make it. I understand he's really busy, so that wasn't going to happen. But it would have been nice if he could have came around. I really want to give that comedian at least her shine. Dang it. Where is she? What the heck? She was just recently on the Breakfast Club. I'm going to be so mad if I can't find her now. Where is she? But anywho, after that, was the show almost over? The show was almost over, but it wasn't over yet. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah. And Yo Gotti was there because he has his, like, Tale of Two Cities. That's not what it's called. Tales? It's that hip-hop dramedy thing that he has on BET. And shout out to him for that. Yo Gotti, but that's his personality because I said, something's off here. And I had to remember, no, that's just how he is. Now, I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way, I'm just saying that in a factual way. He's one of those people that's just like, and all over the place, so. Tiffany Haddish. There we go. Tiffany Haddish. Alright, so that was it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Why the heck? I should have had this.